Hey, folks, live from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's Saturday night. My name is Jeff from This Week for JTT. How is everyone doing? It's getting hotter now, and yes, it feels more like summer, finally. First off, the stupid march. I've seen like people who have a protest march against Trump. I'm going like, say like, oh, Trump to be king. Trump does not want to be king. He's trying to protect us. Seriously, he's trying to protect us, folks. I mean, what are you waiting for? You waiting for like, people getting slaughtered in the streets, left, right, forward. Then you cry for help? It does make a bit of sense to me. And they show this plastic, oh, they protests all over the United States. Yeah. The liberal cells that go to these places that cause a ruckus. So let me get this straight. This started because like he called reinforcement to help ICE agents to deport these illegal criminals. Seriously, these same criminals kill, rape, part of drug trafficking, human trafficking. What more do you want? I mean, like, what proof you want? You want these people killing innocent people on video and show it to you? Do you want that much? How much more proof do you want? And if I can guarantee there was like warning after warning after warning that these people are capable of such violent harm, and you still don't get it. I can guarantee you there's warnings before the very first terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in the 1990s, and I bet you any amount of money it was ignored. Guess what? In the 1990s, I think it was like a truck bomb blew up in the World Trade Center. I forgot what tower, but the first one blew up. I seen the damage there for myself. I was still like shocked, still going like couldn't believe it, but yes, it happened. And then this terrorists, they wasn't done yet. They weren't satisfied. They said, like, you know what, we go for round two. Once again, there's plenty of warning. They say, like, we gotta watch these terrorists. And we gotta watch for them because they're gonna cause, some damage. There's rumors how like they're going to take down one of the towers. And with what? Not truck bomb, something bigger, something more mobile. And guess what? It was not one, but two airplanes. That's devastating. And we lost the Twin Towers in the process. People got their own separate conspiracy and all that, what happened, but two airplanes smacked into the Twin Towers. I don't care what anyone says, that's what happened. Plain and simple. The planes were fully loaded with fuel. You're not going to tell me nothing else going to happen to the building. It's not like the building's going to be like a candle and burn stuff. I know. You got something big, full of fuel, crashing the building with a lot of force. Once again, full of fuel. Am I surprised the buildings fell down? Not one bit. Not one bit at all. Maybe we're going to check to see if, come on, heaven's sakes. I'm going to see if, hold on here. What? I want to make sure if, the wonder, yep, can make sure the internet's up and going. Because some for reason, I know one or two people can see me right now. Here we go. Interesting. Finally, interesting. Okay, now that I see myself on Facebook, I look pretty weird going like, but bottom line though, are you waiting for something bad to happen to you? Like this is what it seems like to me. The people protest against, people try to take out the illegal aliens, or migrants, or undocumented workers, you like to call it. How is it that when Obama deported several million of them, where's the massive protest? I hear no protest nearly the degree of intensity as with Trump. Where's that? And Obama said, like, he do the same thing that Democrats in the past and Republicans in the past in terms of deporting illegal aliens. But like I said, I have a video for that so you can show you so you know what I'm talking about. And I dare someone and say, like, oh, No, I'm sorry. I'll dare someone to explain how is it that Obama could do it and deport more people, but the moment Trump tried to do it, there's a problem. The one thing I see it coming on, people hate Trump. Period. They hate Trump more than they love this country. So you mean to tell me that you got somebody who's trying to protect this country, you don't want him to do his job? You're gonna try to stop him? Are you serious? You're gonna try to stop this person, President Trump, from stopping the drug trade. You're gonna stop Trump from stopping the human trafficking, drug trafficking, death and violence. You're gonna try to stop him? Are you insane? That's like there's a forest fire. Someone try to put it out. You get so mad, instead of let the person put the forest fire, you throw more gasoline to keep the fire going. That makes zero sense to me. That's one. Two, then we got Israel and Iran. So the question is, who will win in a full-out battle between Iran and Israel? Iran has a lot of weapons, a lot of arms and all that stuff, but if I gotta go, it's gonna be like flat out, like, head to head. I give the edge to Israel for a simple fact. They got more advanced weapons, and they're not afraid to go all out. If they want to really flatten Iran, if they really want to, they would. But like I said, Iran could have been dealt a lot better, but for the past administration, they let Iran do their own thing. Supposedly saying, well, we have the inspectors come check the nuclear facilities. It's not what we like. We got to put the sanctions ban on. Come on. When you heard of the United States slapping sanctions on Iran? They still got money. Even the United States sent the money. And let's face back, our country sent money to Iran, when Biden was in charge. Money was sent to Iran when Biden was in charge. Don't want to hear it. And even still, Iran has their own money. They still got the oil fields. They still sell it to whoever wants it. It could be to Pakistan. It could be to Russia. It could be anyone. It could be to China. It could be North Korea. It could be anyone. But sad part, no one's going to get that, until something really messed up happens. And it's unfortunate, but people don't want to hear it. People rather be reactive than proactive. It's like in your boxing, you got two choices. You can put your guard up and protect yourself in a boxing match, or you leave your guard down and get smacked in the face. As Mike Tyson would say, everyone has a great idea till you get punched in the face. Fact. But I think I got ended like a little early because I'm not gonna lie, because I had a busy day early today. I'm totally wiped out. I've been busy since Friday morning, and it's going on Saturday. I'm more wiped out. So I'm gonna end this in one video show. It's from hold on a sec. It's from I think one of the sites. Let me see if I can find it first. Like I said, my question to you is this though. Go back in terms of dating and all that. Like say you feel somebody, you really like them, and you really want that person. But the person said, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for another relationship and all that. And I wanted to enjoy my freedom first before I commit to you. This is a typical problem most young girls always do. They have this one man who is into them and wants them. And they say, you know what? Let me enjoy my freedom first. Let me sell my wild oats. Let me get out of my system. Get what out of your system? Please explain to me. Get what out of your system? You make it sound like if once you turn 30, you'll settle down, you get married, have kids. I'll give them the best years of my life. You cannot. But you know what? I got a better idea. Just bear with me because I got to show you something so you see what I'm talking about. First, we take care of this here. Please bear with me. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. Now, question, folks. What is my weakness? What is my kryptonite when it comes to certain foods? Give up? This. I happened to be at Walmart, and I saw this for about six and change. Normally, this costs about between $8 to $10. It's like six and change. And such a weak fool that I am, I can't say no to it. But here's the thing: I cannot have this without this. Like I said, like I could be no lie, folks. I think I'm more of a person I could be bribed with this. But I have a point on this. Okay, ladies, for example, like I said, you know that your man loved this and this is his weakness. Along with this, it could be drizzle hot fudge. It could be sea salt caramel. It could be like hot chocolate and all that. That's great and all. And you give your man, I repeat, ladies, if you give your man this, the whole thing to him, and this is his weakness, this is love more for anything else, don't be surprised this man would do so much more for you. Don't be surprised this man would beg you to marry him. He probably get the biggest rock you can get just so you can feel him that good. I mean, when they said the shortest way for a man's heart and for his stomach, not cap, it's true. Back in the day, women had cookbooks to know how to cook their man's favorite food. And as long as you keep the man well fed, happy, and keep him satisfied in the bedroom, he's going nowhere. And in turn, he's going to keep you happy in the bedroom. In turn, whatever you need, it's going to get done. No argument, it's done. Simple as that. Now, what's my point? There are women who want to go and sell the wild oats. Right now, women want to have the hot girl summer. There are girls who want to explore other options. They want to live their best lives. You know what that means? Okay, I'll tell you what it means. Now, if you're a virgin, that means you get the man your whole pie. You know I'm going with this. If you're a virgin, you give your man the whole pie. No question about it, give the man the whole pie. Cool Whip, hot fudge, sea salt caramel, just a whole thing. You give the man the whole pie. You give the man that, not only he's going nowhere, neither you, it's a beautiful thing. But, what if you wanted, like, you know what? I'm turning 21. I want to live my hot girl summers. I want to live my best life. I want to have as much fun before I settle down. Okay, let me explain to you what it'd be like. Let me explain to you how's that like, in that sense. Now, in the process, instead of giving your future husband the whole piece of the pie, you give him like about, instead, you probably give him like, say, if you've been with one guy, you take a slice out. Go with another guy, you take another slice out, and another, and another, and another. Eventually, you're going to run out of slices. Like, say, there's 8 slices of pie, you give him like about 7. And it's like, that's all I get. I get 1 slice, and you have an attitude about it. Hey, look, I give you that pie. My point is, though, how on earth you going to tell a future husband, I'm going to give you my best years of my life to you? How are you going to do that when you give your best years to sometimes the worst males imaginable? After you've been through the worst males imaginable, you get heartbroken, traumatized, you get sorts of drama. You like carry all the emotional baggage they give to your future husband. In other words, though, like in the beginning, you want to play with the top tier guys, hoping that they pick you. No, they're not. And I'll tell you why. Because the top tier guy, the top, like say, 10% of the dudes who earn the most money, they have zero reason to stay loyal. I'm dead serious. Look at the celebrities. Look at the musicians, rappers, rock stars. They have zero reason to be faithful. And don't get me wrong, I'm not paying all of them as bad, because that'd be cap, but a lot of them have zero reason to stay faithful. Why? Because they have endless amount of women coming after them. If you want to say, I'm done with this, I'm tired of you being a player, you think they're going to care? For every one of you that leaves, 10 more is going to take a place. If all you women think like I'm a perfect 10, think again. Most of you, most of that 5s at best 6s, there are women who are way better looking than you. I've seen them, I'm going like, wow. And the women who are like 7, 8, 9s will ignore the bottom 80% of the men. But when their time runs out, they get to be in their 30s, some cases 40s, you might have kids. The man looking at the guy at the bottom end and said the guy say, yeah, he may be corny, he may be lame, but he's steady, he's reliable, he's stable. He may look like a good father figure. And here's the thing: this is not me throwing shade at all single moms. There's some single moms that do great. There's some single moms who do the best, and then most important, there's single moms who allow their kids to be with their fathers. That is so important. My point in terms like the pie analogy, though, like keep in mind, ladies, you want to have the hot girl summer. Congratulations, knock yourself out. But in the process, you pretty much disqualify yourself. What make you think that the top 10 men will want you? The same way you don't want the bottom 80% of men. What make you think the top 10% of men want you? But meanwhile, I'm gonna put this back in the free transfer to keep cold because before this week is over, I'm gonna be like David Copperfield and make this disappear. Bear with me. I promise. So I'm gonna talk about this one video piece I'm gonna react to. It's about this one woman who came up with a relationship with my ex, and she with another guy. Hold on a sec. Oh, much better. As I said before, the video piece about to show you about this one woman who just came up from a relationship with her ex, complaining he's controlling and all that. And she's friends with another guy, came up with a relationship with his ex. They happen to be in the same friend group and all that. They hang out together, they talk and all that. And next thing you know, they came this close to being a couple, but she made a promise to herself. She wanted to have a hot girl summer. The problem is the guy who she's friends with, want an actual relationship with her. And she said, no, not going to happen. If, like I said, I'm going to wait till the end of summer, then we're going to talk about it. But I'm not going to just go talk about it. I'm going to show you the video I'm talking about. So this, bear with me. Oh, yeah. And mind you, I'm going to give my commentary on it so you see what I'm talking about.
Like, what was I supposed to do? Wait around and miss out on all the fun just because he decided to catch feelings?
Okay, here's the thing. For one thing, though, her idea is having fun is to let guys run through her like a track meet during the Olympics. Be the town bicycle, be the town carousel, etc., etc. She actually said it herself, she will go for a 304 phase. But let's go on.
I'm Brittany, 24, and honestly, I thought I was doing the right thing by being upfront.
The good news, she was being upfront, but not in the right way.
Let me back up. So my ex Trent and I broke up 4 months ago. It was messy. He was controlling and jealous over everything.
When you see the whole video, you can see why things got messy between her and Trent.
After that disaster, I swore I'd take time to just have fun and not jump into anything serious.
Which I get that.
Around the same time, Randall split with his girlfriend too. We'd been in the same friend group for years, but never really hung out alone until we both suddenly had all this free time. At first, it was just grabbing coffee to vent about our exes. Then we started hitting up happy hours, watching movies at his place, or just walking around downtown on weekends. Before I knew it, we were texting all day and hanging out like 4 times a week. He's funny in this dry, sarcastic way that catches you off guard. And he actually listens, you know? Not that fake listening guys do when they're just waiting for you to stop talking. Paige kept saying he was into me, but I brushed it off.
First mistake.
We're just friends picking up the pieces after bad breakups,
Which I almost understand, but keep watching.
I told her. Between us, though, I did notice how good he looked in his work clothes.
Yeah, deep down inside, she started to feel him, but she's going to deny herself that, much to her peril.
Or how his whole face lights up when he laughs.
Tiny little details she notices, which means she's feeling him, but she's going to deny herself that because she wanted to do her 3 or 4 phase over the summer.
But I wasn't ready to risk our friendship over a rebound, and I definitely wasn't done having my freedom.
Keywords. She wasn't done having fun with her freedom. She didn't want to give her freedom. Freedom of what? Being ran through like a train in Grand Central or Times Square.
One night we were at his apartment watching some crime documentary. We ordered Thai food, had a couple beers, and were just chilling on his couch.
Okay, the Thai food's not an issue. It's a couple of beers. Keep in mind, once you got drinking beers and all that stuff, um, basically the funny thing with beer, it lowers your inhibition, it lowers your self-control, it lowers your restraint. Basically, feelings that you hold back on comes pouring out. And you see what I'm talking about soon.
During a boring part, we started talking about dating apps, and I was showing him this ridiculous profile I'd come across. We were laughing, sitting closer than usual.
Hmm.
And then there was this moment, you know the kind,
No, what kind?
where the laughter stops, but you're still looking at each other.
Hmm.
He leaned in and kissed me, and I kissed him back, not gonna lie. It was good, like surprisingly good.
In other words, she didn't push him back and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Oh, no, she kissed him back. In other words, though, he was feeling it, she was feeling it, but
When we pulled away, he had this serious look and said, "I think I'm falling for you, Britt."
yeah.
My stomach dropped. Part of me was excited, but a bigger part was terrified.
Uh-oh.
I just got out of a relationship. Summer was coming up. I had plans to live it up.
You know what that means? She'd rather live it up with other men than Brett. In other words, remember the pie I showed you earlier? She could have gave, Randall the whole pie. Instead, she could share the pie out with everybody else. He'd be lucky if he gets the crust. Simple as that. But keep watching.
Flirt with strangers, dance on tables, all that fun stuff you can't do when you're tied down.
I hate to tell you this, that haven't stopped some people in relationships. They haven't stopped women who are married. They haven't stopped women who's engaged. They haven't stopped women who are in committed relationships. If they want to cheat on you badly enough, they will. They find a way, unfortunately. But the funny thing is, like, they're all cool about it until they get caught, then they got the nerve to act like the victim. But I digress.
So I told him the truth. I think I could fall for you too.
Right.
But I'm not ready. I need to have my hot girl summer, you know? Get the wild phase out of my system.
And this is why I say that's the biggest crock of bull ever. I said before, I say it again. They have research proving that women that have multiple ex-lovers are way more likely to cheat on you. Women have multiple ex-lovers are way more likely to catch STDs. And I'm not saying men are saints, not even saying it. No, men are no better, but women make it sound like it's not that big a deal. Like, no, men and women are different. The one thing is like that if she could have relations with all these different men and not be emotionally detached, what is going to happen is she's so-called being a real relationship with the man who wanted her. But, it gets more interesting, folks. Check this out.
But maybe after that, at the end of summer, we could try for real.
Keywords try, not do, try.
I thought he'd appreciate my honesty. Instead, his face just fell.
Okay, this I gotta address really quick if you don't mind, folks. When she said his face just fell, I understand that way better than most you can imagine. The only time I heard that term, his face fell, was describing me. I was with my first ex-girlfriend going on like 30 years ago. Seriously, it's going like 30 years ago. Wow, that's a long time. And I forgot what it said. I'm not sure we had an argument or something like that. I think she said something to me, and I think I looked really sad, hurt. And she just looked at me and said, like, and she realized like how bad she hurt me. Said, "Jeff, your face just fell." And I'm like, "What?" Your face just fell. That means, I imagine that means like you really look sad, you look hurt, you like really like down. So I imagine that's what Randall's feeling. He must have been crushed. Like he really was feeling this girl. And the moment she like gave him the reason, that his face fell. In other words, though, she'd rather be doing a deed with dozens of other guys living her hot girl summer than him. And that hurts. And keep in mind, it took a lot of courage man to come out and say it. The Bears probably had something to do with it, but it really hurt him in the heart, spirit, and soul to bear out to this woman who he cared for. I want to tell her, like, look, I like you. That's not enough to where I'm gonna give up all this hot girl summer for you. That will hurt a man's pride and soul and spirit. But let's go on.
He tried to play it cool, said he understood, but everything felt different after that.
Well, of course that was gonna be different. He is not gonna see her the same way again. As though she'd rather be this wild thing, rather like, give away like free hotcakes in a bake sale. For heaven's sake, she'd rather like be the town bicycle, town carousel, and all that fun stuff. And you can't expect him to, be cool about it. And you can't expect him to just go march willingly into the Supermax friend zone. Because I think that's what he wants him to do voluntarily. Walk into the Supermax friend zone and wait until she frees him. At least that's what it seems like. You let me know, folks. What do you think?
That night, he started taking longer to text back. Our hangouts went from 4 times a week to maybe once.
That because he put some distance between him and her. I think being around her kind of hurts him, kind of like injures him. He want to be with somebody who wants him for him. But, it gets better. Check this out.
And always with other people around. I'd see him laughing with Dominic or other friends, but with me, he was polite. Too polite.
Exactly. He, he no longer see you the same light like he used to. By the way, to my friend Jeff Ash, what's up, Jeff? Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up back to YouTube, buddy. Thank you. Anybody else? Do not be afraid to give me a thumbs up. If you can, go to my hold on. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. And let's keep on going.
It was like watching someone slowly back away. I figured he just needed space to deal with his feelings.
Well, duh, of course. It hurts. It's like the person you want so badly that you're gonna be like put through, the paces, gonna be ran through, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like the dream car you want. Like say, the guys, you have to see this beautiful Corvette. It could be like from, beautiful candy apple, gunmetal. You want this car more for anything else, but instead they give you keys. Somebody else got the keys, and then put it for a demolition derby. Yeah, that's a painful thing to watch. The most beautiful Corvette. I mean, the newest. Like you see the newest Corvettes, right? These new Corvettes are beautiful. Now imagine me put in a demolition derby. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to watch. And you want to be around and see a brand new cherry Corvette be put for a demolition derby? Nope. You will walk away with your back turned. It's like, I don't want to see this. But let's go on.
And that was fine. I was busy anyway, downloading dating apps and planning girls' nights with Paige. By June, I was in full summer mode.
Being ran through like a track meet in the Olympics. Being used as a town bicycle, town carousel, etc., etc. She lived in her 304 phase.
Brunch dates, rooftop bars, beach days with guys from the apps.
Shocker. And she was what?
I was having fun. Exactly what I wanted.
And that's what she get. But she will get something else she's not going to be happy with.
But sometimes, after a mediocre date, I'd catch myself wondering what Randall was doing.
Why do you care? You were too busy having your fun.
Or I'd want to text him about something funny that happened. When we did hang out with the group, I'd tell him about my dating disasters.
Okay, why would you tell this person who once was, I think he was in love with you or about to fall for you, why you want, like I said, once again, that beautiful Corvette and demolition derby, it's like, hey, well, check this, my Corvette, it might have some scratches, boy, check it out. No, I don't want to see it. Why you want to rub the salt in the wound? What's wrong with these people? If you have a female you have feelings for, and she chooses not to reciprocate, but want to talk about her past dates, oh, this person treat me bad, he's this. I'm sorry, I'd be going like separate myself from this person as well. It's like, you know what? You go your way, I'll go my way. I don't want to deal with you more. And I can't blame him.
thinking he'd laugh like he used to. Instead, he'd just nod or change the subject.
Smart move.
I didn't realize how much I missed our friendship until.
Well, guess what? Here's the deal, though. Most guys, once they realize the girl they're with is not going to take them seriously, they're not going to wait around and hope you're going to slip up on like, no. Guys who are good men, who stands on business, they're not going to be like one of those simps who go and voluntarily go to the friend zone supermax prison. No, this guy said, I will not go in that friend zone supermax prison. No way. And he's not. He's gonna be about, himself and go about life. But he's not gonna wait on this woman here. He's not gonna wait on Britt. I think her name was Britt. He's not gonna wait on Britt, and I can't blame him.
I saw him chatting up some blonde at our friend's barbecue. She was laughing at everything he said, touching his arm, and he was completely into it. I felt this weird burning in my chest that.
Hate to tell you this, it's jealousy. Why? Because the attention that Britt was getting, Randall's new female friend was now getting. You know what it's like? It's like, how dare you give the attention you was giving to me to her? Don't you love that? It's kind of weird. She don't want him right then and there, but the moment he gives attention to another woman, now she feels like she getting tugged because the energy they used to give to her is going to somebody else. Oh, yeah. Things is kind of interesting.
I refused to call jealousy. After all, wasn't this what I wanted?
And that's what she got.
Both of us out there, being single.
Well, she is. He's slowly becoming hooked up to this person.
Having fun. But watching him smile at her the way he used to smile at me made me want to march over and remind him about our end of summer plan.
Oh, that's kind of funny, though. Here's my question, though. What if she found somebody else? I can picture right now. Randall, I hate to tell you this. You're such a nice guy. I will ever, forever, love and cherish our friendship, but I'm with this guy. He owns a gym and all that. Like, I think I'm going to be with him. He's going to be my main man, but we'll still be friends. No. Then she pulls like, oh, Aaron knows something to play. No.
I didn't, though. I just downed my drink and found someone else to talk to. The summer rolled on, and I kept dating around like I planned.
You mean let guys run through you? As the saying would go, run through you like a track meet with Olympics. Guys destroy your guts, blow your back out, etc., etc. I'm not going into more graphic details because of YouTube guidelines.
But none of the guys was all that interesting.
But yet you date them. You're claiming not the interest, but yet you still date them. That's the funny thing. It's like me eating. Let's see, what's the last one thing I don't like to eat? It's like me eating. It's like me eating tripe, which is pig guts, and I hate it with passion, but yeah, I keep on eating it. If I eat something I hate, there's something wrong with me. So apparently, she's no better. These guys are not on the interest, not on the grip, but yet she kept on dating them. Figure that out.
One was obsessed with his car. Another wouldn't stop talking about crypto.
And
most just wanted hookups with.
And remember epic. And hookup. You're surprised. And here's the thing. Did she say no to any of the hookups? Oh, that's very interesting. Did she say no to any of those hookups? That's an interesting question.
Minimal effort. Meanwhile, Randall seemed to be enjoying single life on his own terms. He was going hiking, trying new restaurants, even taking guitar lessons, stuff he'd talked about doing for ages.
Nothing wrong with that. Basically, he's about doing what he wants to do in life. He's succeeding. Great. But that girl, that's something special, and is also a thorn And Britt's side because once again, the energy, attention, validation, compliments that she was getting from Randall is going to the other girl. Keep watching.
And he was seeing this girl, Haley. Not officially, but everyone could see it happening. They arrived at gatherings together, sat together, left together. I thought you weren't into relationships right now, I said when I finally managed to get Randall alone at a pool party. We were standing by the drinks table, and I'd timed my approach for when Haley went to the bathroom.
I'm going to be focused on what you're doing. I'm supposed to have this hot girl summer. How come you're so concerned about what Randall's doing? It's like Randall's just, playing guitar, hiking, cool, but it was with another woman and giving her the same energy that he's giving you. You have a problem with it? That's not Randall's fault. But keep listening. Things are even more better still.
I wasn't looking for one, he said simply. Sometimes things just happen naturally. So what's so special about her?
Of course. Here's the thing. Had Brett, didn't go for this whole phase, that could have been her and Randall. But since she wanted to do her hot girl summer, another woman got Randall's attention. And what's so special about this girl? You're about to find out.
I tried to sound casual, but it came out all wrong. Randall sighed. Brittany, what do you want from me? I faltered. Summer's almost over.
And I forgot. Since you tried to put him in this super friend zone, super max prison, you're supposed to be behind his cell, waiting for you to open the door to free him to be with you. Right? Wrong.
He looked at me for a long moment. Yeah, it is. Then he grabbed a beer and walked back to where Haley was now chatting with Paige.
I guess Randall told her, and not so many words.
The truth was hitting me hard. Randall had moved on.
Duh.
Labor Day weekend came, the unofficial end of summer. I told Randall back in May that after summer, we could try for real. But as I sat scrolling through Instagram, seeing pictures of him and Haley at some lake house with friends, I realized the deadline meant nothing to him anymore.
Yeah, just like the deadline meant nothing to him, just like the fact what he said to you, that as far as you meant nothing to you. Yes, you was excited, but probably got scared. So scared, you said, you know what? Instead of actually exploring, a relationship with Randall, I'm gonna have my hot girl summer, and maybe in case nobody picked me up, then I'll go over Randall. You know how that sounds? Yeah, it sounds exactly like that.
I texted him, "Hey, can we talk? Coffee at Riley's tomorrow?" To my surprise, he agreed. When I got to the coffee shop, he was already there, looking good in a navy button-down that made his eyes pop. I'd spent an hour getting ready, trying to look effortless. Remember back in May when you told me how you felt? And I said I needed the summer, but after that, maybe we could try? I smiled. Well, it's after summer now, and I've been thinking about us a lot. I think I'm ready for something real, with you.
Oh, now you're ready. Now you're ready. You want to know why she's ready now? Because his attention now was on Haley. So my question to you folks is this: what if he wasn't with Haley? Would you be ready for a real relationship now, or should you want more time? Hmm.
The silence that followed was excruciating. Randall looked down at his coffee, then back at me. Brittany, he said finally, I don't feel that way about you anymore.
Oops. In other words, Brittany, whatever strong feelings he had for you, you killed it. You want me to say I'd rather give myself to all these strange men than to have an actual relationship with you. I'd rather have these men go through me, you know, like you know, like cars for a car, like a car wash with cars going in and out of me like crazy, and then come to you much Okay. Try this again.
Like, what was I supposed to do?
There we
Wait
go.
around and miss out on all the fun just because he decided to catch feelings? Freedom? You didn't miss a chance. You made a choice.
Hi, I'm Brett. And I'm Jonathan.
He used to smile at me made me want to march over and remind him about our end of summer. I told Randall back in May that after summer, we could try for real. But as I sat scrolling through Instagram,
Hi, I'm Brett. And I'm Jonathan.
now we're getting ready, trying to look effortless. Remember back in May when you told me how you felt? And I said I needed the summer, but after that, maybe we could try? I smiled. Well, it's after summer now, and I've been thinking about us a lot. I think I'm ready for something real, with you. The silence that followed was excruciating. Randall looked down at his coffee, then back at me. Brittany, he said finally, I don't feel that way about you anymore. Even though I'd sensed it coming, the words still hit like a slap.
Yeah, no kidding. Say it before I say it again. The moment that you chose to act the part of a 304, over like be a possible girlfriend to him, whatever dream he had of him, whatever dream he had about you being his girl, died on the spot. He's like, and it hurts. It's like he's mourning a loss of a loved one. And of course, that's why his face fell. He felt really hurt.
Him. I'd show up at places I was just being honest. My voice rose. We talk? Coffee at Riley's to coffee, then back at me. Brittany, he said finally, I don't feel that way about you anymore. Even though I'd sensed it coming, the words still hit like a slap.
Hi, I'm Brett.
I hate these
And I'm
commercials.
Jonathan.
They're paid.
This is Darla. And
What do you mean? Because of Haley? No, not because of Haley. This happened before her. He leaned back in his chair. When you told me you wanted to wait until after your hoe phase, something changed for me. It made me see things differently between us.
In other words, though, he don't deal with a woman who got ran through by so many different guys. He don't want to be competing with her ex-lovers. Once again, study shows women have so many ex-lovers are way more likely to cheat on a person than women who didn't have that many ex-lovers.
But I was just being honest. My voice rose, making a couple nearby look over. And that's the problem, he said. You expected me to just wait around while you dated other people, then come running when you decided you were ready.
And that's not what he want, and I can't blame him. Reverse the roles, lady. You be okay with that? Ladies, will you be if the roles were reversed, ladies, would you be okay with it? Let me know in the comments down below.
He said. You expected me to just wait around while you dated other people, then come running when you decided you were ready. That's not how I want to start a relationship. That's not fair. I never asked you to wait. You didn't have to. You assumed I would.
Facts. She expect the guy to go willfully, voluntarily in that supermax friend zone and wait. But he didn't, thankfully.
He sighed. Look, I value our friendship, but romantically, I've moved on.
Duh,
And yes, I'm seeing Haley now.
duh.
I felt my throat tighten. So that's it. I missed my chance because I wanted a few months of freedom?
Yes,
You didn't miss a chance. You made a choice.
facts.
He checked his watch. I should get going. I have plans. As he walked out, leaving me with a cold coffee and wounded pride, I couldn't believe this was happening.
Deal with it.
I was supposed to be the one who got to decide when our timing was right.
Sounds like a bit of a narcissistic control freak.
How dare he move on before I was ready for him?
Control freak, narcissistic control freak.
Over the next few weeks, I tried everything to get Randall's attention back. I'd text him random things that reminded me of him. I'd show up at places I knew he might be. I even drunk called him one night, which I'm not proud of. He was always polite but distant, making it clear he wasn't interested.
You ever have an ex that drunk call you? Folks, you have a good story about what ex drunk call you and what he or she said? Please let me know. We all want to hear this.
In anything beyond basic friendship. Then I had a brilliant idea. Our friend Lisa was having a birthday party, and I knew Randall would be there. I invited Jake, this hot trainer from my gym, as my plus one. Perfect for making someone jealous. At the party, I made sure to laugh extra loud at Jake's jokes and stay within Randall's sightline. But Randall seemed completely unbothered, focused entirely on Haley and their friends. The next morning, hungover and miserable, I did something I'm not proud of. I went through my photo library and found an old picture of Randall and me from last summer. I posted it with the caption, "Missing simpler times with this one," and tagged him. Within an hour, Randall texted me, "Please take that down." "Why? It's just a throwback pic," I replied innocently. "You know why, Brittany. Haley saw it, and now I have to explain." I reluctantly deleted the post, but felt a surge of satisfaction knowing I'd caused a ripple between them. Maybe if things got rocky.
She tried to cause problems between Randall and Haley, and that's not right. That's not right at all. Hold on a sec. Here we go.
He'd remember what we could have had. But that small
Problem is you chose being a 304 over being Randall's girlfriend, so keep that in mind. And it goes for any other female who has the same thinking, same mentality.
victory was short-lived. The following weekend, I saw something on Instagram that made my stomach drop. Randall and Haley at her sister's wedding. Not just as dates, but in multiple photos looking completely in love. There was one of them slow dancing, his arms around her waist, her head on his shoulder. They looked like they belonged together. I closed the app and threw my phone across the couch. This wasn't supposed to happen. The plan was for me to have my fun, then we'd get together when I was ready.
Selfish, narcissistic, control freak.
How did everything go so wrong? In a moment of weakness, I texted him, "Can we please talk? For real this time. I miss you." When we met, his expression was guarded, arms crossed as I sat down.
He was ready for whatever BS you tried to throw at him. He was ready and wasn't taking it.
I just don't understand how you could move on so quickly. We had something special.
Okay, let me stop it right there. She complained, how can you move on quickly? So basically, expect him to stand still, do nothing. Once again, you expect him to go to the Supermax friend zone and do nothing. It's okay if he go just play guitar and hike, nothing else. He's not allowed to look at other women. But that's what it sounds like. She's allowed to go and have her fun, let as many guys as possible have their way with her, but he's not allowed to interact with any other females. Do you know how messed up that sounds?
He shook his head. We had a friendship that could have been more, but you wanted to date other people first. I wanted to be ready for you.
How are you going to start being ready with somebody when you pretty much having fun with everybody else? You're not getting ready for him. Seems like you pretty much give yourself to everybody else before you give yourself to him. Once again, you had a big pie. By the time you give him the whole pie, you take a slice there, you take a slice there, till you're down to the last slice, and you expect him to like it like it's the whole pie. It don't work like that.
I insisted. I didn't want to jump from one relationship to another without getting the wild stuff out of my system.
What wild stuff? Are you serious? She make it sound like I'm possessed by the wild thing. No. I don't know who told this girl it's okay, but that's stupidest reason I heard. I would get the wild thing out. You did what? All you do is making sure that you're way more likely to cheat on him. All you do is making sure you're way more likely to be unsatisfied with the man in bed. Stop the tap.
And that was your choice to make, he said evenly. Just like it was my choice not to wait around as your backup plan. You weren't my backup.
Ooh. Burn and burn.
Really? Because from where I was sitting, it felt exactly like that. You wanted to keep me on the hook while you explored other options.
Facts. Question, fellas, as well as ladies too. How many of you was in that situation? You had that one person you want badly, but they want to play the field where they want you to stay where you are, don't do anything, don't talk to anyone until I finish having my fun, and then if I don't pick anybody else yet, I had no other choice, then I'll go to you. Anybody who's been through that situation, please speak up, let me know, leave it in the comments down below.
There was an edge to his voice now. Do you know how that felt? To hear you basically say, you're good enough to date, but not before I see what else is out there first.
Facts. Trust me, this is the first time we hear someone say that to a person whose heart you broke. It won't be the last. I can imagine like the horror stories you hear in relationships like this.
That's not what I meant. What did you mean then? I struggled to find the right words. I needed time. And I needed someone who was sure about me, he countered. Haley was sure from day one.
Facts. For some further reason, Brittany wasn't sure until she could get it out of her system. Haley was ready from day one. So guess what? Apparently, Haley was ready before you were. And everyone soon tell her she blew it. Britt has blew it.
No games, no waiting periods, just genuine interest.
Facts.
He leaned forward. That's the difference, Brittany. She chose me first, not as an afterthought when nothing better came along.
Facts again. Like I said, some of you modern women, you think this is a joke. And the funny part, the guy who you wanted to wait, the moment he moved on, romantically, without you, you get mad. No, it's not his fault. Why should you wait and suffer and wait for you to make up your mind? And here's the thing, and I'll be honest, there are some guys that do that. There's some guys that actually try to wait and wait for you to make up your mind. Wait for you to grow a brain. Wait for you to make a decision. Chances are you love the idea of having multiple men vie for your attention. But the problem is the one person who would have loved, honor you for the rest of his life, you could end up losing, and you have the audacity to get upset about it.
After he left, I sat there feeling like the ground had disappeared beneath me. How had I misjudged everything so badly? In my mind, Randall had been a sure thing, someone who would wait because he'd fallen for me so hard.
And that's a mistake she made. She thought that he fell so in love with her that she had him on a hook, and it wasn't the case. Keep in mind, when she said, I need to go through his whole phase during the summertime, that's why his face fell. Because the person who he had feelings for changed. And he changed, and basically when that happened, how he felt about her forever changed. He was doing his own thing, hiking, playing guitar, then next thing you know, Haley came about, and she picked him first, not as an afterthought. And that made him feel wanted, desired. Not multiple girls, her, that one girl, and that's all it takes.
The idea that he could just stop having those feelings, that he could look at my hoe phase declaration and decide I wasn't worth waiting for. It
Duh.
was inconceivable.
Well, guess what? There's two things you can do about that. Nothing and like it.
Over the next few days, I spiraled. I stalked Randall and Haley's social media, analyzing every photo, every comment. I texted mutual friends asking casual, not casual questions about them. I even drove by his apartment once, just to see if her car was there. It was. You've got to stop this, Paige told me firmly when I showed up at her door after midnight, wine drunk and rambling about Randall. You're acting crazy. I just don't get what he sees in her, I said for probably the 100th time.
Typical. I imagine the same conversation she had with her friends, other women like her with their friends. What does he see in her? Let me see. Number one, she's with him right here, right now. She chose him first. She didn't go for like about 1 or 2 dozen guys and all that stuff. She sees him, she likes him, therefore she chose him. And guess what? He feels wanted and desired. That's all it takes. Men are we are so simple. We are so simple, it's unreal. You don't have to be no rocket scientist to figure us out. If a woman likes us, desires us, and make us feel that way, we're gonna be around her. And like I said, we like give it the attention. We can give it a validation. We can give her compliments. The same energy that Brett used to get, Paige is not getting, and now Brett is not happy about it. But all I gotta say about that, too bad for you.
She's so boring. She's not boring. She's stable and kind and not playing games with him.
Facts. Facts. Guys, if you deal with a woman who loves playing head games, run. Seriously, run. I mean, we talk about your mental health. Just run. And Randall, too, you think about his mental health? I can't blame him. Keep on listening.
Paige took the wine glass from my hand. Brittany, as your friend, I need to be brutally honest. You had your chance with Randall, and you blew it.
Facts.
The way you're acting now, it's making everyone uncomfortable. Everyone? Who's everyone? She sighed. The group text has been blowing up. Dominic said you cornered him asking for details about Randall and Haley's relationship. Lisa said you tried to get her to not invite Haley to her party.
Crazy.
It's getting out of hand. I grabbed my purse and stood up. If you're all so worried, maybe you should be better friends instead of judging me. Halloween was coming up, and Dominic was hosting his annual costume party. I decided this would be my last shot to show Randall what he was missing. I spent way too much money on a sexy dark angel costume with black wings and a dress that hugged every curve.
Okay, here's the clue. She picked a dark angel costume. Not a regular angel costume, a dark angel costume. That should tell you a little bit about her personality. Dark angel?
The night of the party, I made sure to arrive fashionably late. The apartment was packed, music blasting. I spotted Randall immediately. He was dressed as some video game character, standing by the kitchen with Haley, who was matching him in a coordinated costume. 3 drinks later, I was feeling confident enough to make my move.
And that's when things go south.
Randall was alone for once, getting a beer from the cooler. I sidled up next to him, adjusting my wings. "Hey, stranger," I said, tapping his shoulder. "Oh, hey, Brittany. Nice costume." "Thanks. You make it cute?" I gestured vaguely at his outfit. "Link, from Zelda." He glanced across the room where Haley was chatting with some girls. "Haley's Zelda. Right." I took another sip of my drink. "So, how have you been? Feel like we never talk anymore." "I've been good," he said cautiously. "Really good, actually." "That's great." I moved closer. "Remember last Halloween? That party at Cooper's where we did those awful tequila shots?" He nodded, a hint of a smile playing at his lips.
Oh, yeah, tequila. Yeah. Let's just say that a long time ago, I tried tequila and I regret it. This is like about a long, long time ago. Let's just say that a mop was needed. Yeah, something I ran up thinking about too much. That's wow, over 30 plus years ago, maybe 35 years ago. Crazy.
"And you got sick in his ficus plant. And you held my hair back," I reminded him, touching his arm. "You always took such good care of me."
She tried attempting by touching his arm. Not cool.
His smile faded. "Brittany, I miss that," I continued, emboldened by alcohol. "I miss us."
Mm-hmm. Alcohol. The moment you got that alcohol system, now you feel bold, try to seduce him, but you see what happens. And they say like, well, I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake, young lady. You made a choice.
"I made a mistake, Randall. I should have chosen you from the beginning." He gently removed my hand from his arm. "You're drunk." I'm just being honest. Isn't that what you wanted? Honesty? I stepped closer. The truth is, none of those guys compared to you, not one. Please stop, he said firmly.
Don't try this baking soda trick unless you're ready to last all night until she says, stop. Last Thursday night.
This isn't appropriate. I'm with Haley now. But do you love her, like really love her? I asked desperately, because I think I might love. Brittany, that's enough. His voice was sharper now. You don't
Oh, now she claims she might love him. That's not love, but you see what he's talking about soon.
get to say that to me, especially not now. Why not? It's how I feel. Because it's not real, he said. You only love me now that you can't have me.
Isn't that the fact? It's true. I mean, a lot of women want something they can't have. Like, for example, in the beginning, there's a guy, there would be like a guy that she has no interest in. But here's the funny thing, the moment the guy just flat out ignore her outright like she don't exist, all of a sudden, you got her curiosity. I'm not saying she's gonna like throw herself at you, but all of a sudden you got curiosity. Yeah, I enjoy how guys will deal with girls who get on the nerves, but when a guy just like ignore the girl outright, like especially at work, he ignores her outright. All of a sudden she's curious and want to deal with him, want to talk to him, but he kept ignoring him. And this was going on with Brett. All of a sudden now that he's paying attention to Haley, give her the attention, positive energy, the compliments, validation, and all that. All of a sudden you got Brett's full attention. And after summertime, like, well, I will try. No. She has some issues going on she's got to work on.
That's not love. That's just wanting what you can't have. I felt tears building. That's not true. Isn't it? You had your chance, Brittany. You chose your hoe phase over starting something real with me. That was your decision. And I regret it.
Yep.
I cried, loud enough that people nearby turned to look. I made a mistake. Yes, you did, he agreed, his voice low. But your mistake wasn't choosing the hoe phase. It was thinking I'd just be waiting at the end of it. I saw
Facts. Once again, she expected Randall to go to his Supermax friend zone and wait, except he didn't do that. He went about his life and found Haley. Almost like Haley found him. And she was for real about having a relationship with Randall. And Haley's mad because he found a relationship and moved on without her. Now all of a sudden she wants Randall.
Haley approaching, concern on her face, and something in me snapped. She's not right for you, I said
Of course you're going to say that.
bitterly. She's boring and safe.
I swear, I'm sick and tired of hearing women say certain women are boring and safe. What's so boring about a woman that knows what she wants in a man and not afraid to let the guy know, like, hey, I'm ready for a relationship now? What, boring in terms of like she only has like one lover, not like about 10, 20, or enough to make several sports teams? Please.
You're settling. His expression hardened.
Settling? You women cry, are the first one to cry like, I won't settle, I won't settle. But the moment the guy moves all about you, you accuse him of settling? No, he's not settling. He found the one that cares and possibly love him. Deal with it.
Don't insult her because you're upset with yourself. Randall? Haley had reached us, looking between us uncertainly. Everything okay? Before he could answer, I blurted out, did he tell you he was in love with me first? That I was his first choice?
That was wrong.
The room seemed to go quiet, though the music was still pounding. Haley's face fell, and Randall looked absolutely livid. That's enough.
You can't blame him being ticked off. And like, don't get me wrong, he fell in love before, but you make it sound like, what he felt for Haley means nothing, but it means everything. Everything.
He said, taking Haley's hand. We're leaving. Of course you are. I laughed bitterly. Run away from the truth. He leaned in close, his voice barely audible. The truth is, I dodged a bullet, and right now you're proving it.
Translation, he's trying to say that Britt is psychotic. Facts, facts, facts.
They pushed past me toward the door. In my drunken state, I called after them. Ask him about May. Ask what he said to me. Dominic appeared at my side, gripping my arm. Outside. Now. He practically dragged me to the balcony, away from the staring eyes and whispers. What the hell was that? He needed to hear the truth, I said, swaying slightly. No, you needed to cause a scene. Dominic ran a hand through his hair in frustration. Do you realize what you just did? You tried to blow up their relationship because you can't handle rejection.
And you're not going to tell me women can. No, they can't. It's kind of funny. Women have zero problem rejecting men. I promise you, women rejected way more men than men. They have no problem rejecting way more men than men rejecting them. Plain and simple. That's why we prefer men to approach them so they can be able to reject them. But they have to face the same fear as men reject them. But right now, men are not going to approach you, women, because you make it impossible. Between the Me Too movement, between the fact you treat us like we're like lower than second, third, fourth class citizens. You treat us worse than the gum underneath your shoe, and you wonder why men will approach you like they used to. It's getting to the point that women complain that men, the construction workers, are not catcalling them. You're going to tell me that you're complaining that men are not catcalling you. Women who think like that need to see a therapist quickly. Seriously.
As I waited on the curb for my Uber, I did something I'll always regret. I opened Instagram, went to Haley's profile, and found a recent picture of her and Randall. I screenshotted it, then opened my text thread with Randall and typed, "Does she know about what happened between us after Cooper's party last year? When you were still with your ex?" Then I attached the screenshot and hit send. It was a lie. Nothing had happened between us while he was with his ex. But in my drunk, jealous mind, planting that seed of doubt seemed like my last card to play. I woke up the next morning.
And the scary part, even though this is a story, you're not going to tell me these things did not happen. You're not going to tell me these things do not happen. I promise you, all over the United States and Western civilization, there are dozens and dozens of stories of things like this happening, period. You're not going to tell me that there haven't been a situation where there's one man, it's not filmed as one woman, and she played the same games this character, Brett, is playing with Randall. And by the time the guy decided to move on and find somebody else, these things will happen. I can promise you it does happen. Anybody who has a remote, who has has any friends who remotely go for stuff like this, please let me know in the comments down below.
To the worst hangover of my life and overwhelming dread as memories from the night before came flooding back. What had I done? I'd tried to destroy Randall's relationship with a complete lie. Around dinner time, Paige called. "Brittany, what were you thinking? Do you have any idea what you've done? I was drunk and stupid, I know. I'll apologize." "It's too late for that." Haley was devastated, thinking Randall had cheated with you. He had to convince her it was a lie. Which it was, right? "Yes," I admitted quietly. "Nothing ever happened between us then. I wanted to hurt them."
Spiteful, very evil, very spiteful. What type of Jezebelian spirit does she has?
"Well, congratulations, mission accomplished." Her disgust was palpable through the phone. "Randall showed everyone the text, Brittany. Everyone knows what you did." The next few weeks were the loneliest of my life. I wasn't invited to any group gatherings. My social media feeds showed pictures of my friends having fun without me. Randall had blocked me on everything. Paige was the only one who still talked to me, and even she kept her distance.
That should tell you, though. The person who she's very close friends with blocked her everything, and you know what? She deserved it. She violated his trust. She violated his respect. Friendship thrown out the window.
One rainy Sunday afternoon, about a month after the Halloween party disaster, I was grocery shopping when I turned a corner and nearly crashed carts with Randall and Haley. They were shopping together, casual and domestic, with items in their cart that suggested they were cooking dinner together. We all froze, the awkwardness palpable. Haley looked away, clearly uncomfortable. "Hi," I said softly. "Hey," Randall replied, his tone neutral. Words failed me. What could I possibly say in a grocery store that would make up for what I'd done? We should go, Haley said to Randall, turning her cart. He nodded, but hesitated. Take care of yourself, Brittany, he said finally, not unkindly but with unmistakable finality. Then they walked away, leaving me standing alone between shelves of cereal. A week later, scrolling mindlessly through Instagram, I saw a photo that made my heart stop. Randall, down on one knee, proposing to Haley at what looked like her family's lake house. The caption read, "She said yes. Can't wait to spend forever with my best friend and the love of my life."
Okay, you know that's like a dagger to Britt's heart because that could have been her. But because she would go through this whole phase during the summer, she lost out and lost out big. But she has no one to blame but herself. If you know anybody who done that, who been for that, let me know in the comments down below.
I called my mom that evening. "I really messed up, Mom," I said when she answered, my voice breaking. "Oh, honey," she said. "What happened?" I told her everything, the initial rejection of Randall, the summer of meaningless dating, my growing jealousy, and finally the horrible lie that had cost me all my friends. "I don't know who I am anymore," I admitted. "I became this person I don't even recognize, all because I couldn't have what I wanted when I wanted it." "Sometimes we have to lose everything to see ourselves clearly," she said gently. "The question is, what are you going to do now?" I started therapy the following week. It wasn't easy, laying bare all my ugly thoughts and behaviors.
Ladies, if you're going for a very messy breakup, um, I recommend therapy. If you have any past traumas, therapy. Don't play all tough like, oh, I don't have to deal with it, or I don't want to talk about. See a therapist. Whatever like inner demons you deal with, see a therapist before you try to make it to somebody else's problem.
Therapist gently challenged my tendency to paint myself as the victim. "It sounds like you had difficulty accepting the consequences of your choices," she observed. "You wanted freedom, but also wanted Randall to wait for you.
Facts.
When he chose not to, you felt entitled to sabotage his happiness."
Facts. Thinking like maybe if I ruin his chances with Haley, he'd come running back to me, right? Wrong. If they can notice, but the moment she tried the first time to ruin things between Randall and Haley, he doubled down and even went 10 toes down. And in the end, he ended up marrying her.
6 weeks into therapy, I received a wedding invitation from Dominic with a handwritten note. "We've been friends too long to throw it all away. If you're in a better place, we'd love to have you there." It was an olive branch, small but significant.
So basically, one friend tried to bring her back into the circle. Very cautiously, though, but yeah. But see how this ends, though. You'd be surprised.
When we met for coffee, he studied me carefully. "You seem different," he said, "more grounded." "I'm trying to be," I admitted. "I've been in therapy, really working on myself. What I did was inexcusable. I see that now. Randall and Haley will be at the wedding," he warned. I took a deep breath. I figured, that's okay. I owe them both a face-to-face apology, but I promise I won't make a scene. By the time Dominic's wedding arrived in April, I felt steady enough to attend without falling apart. I kept to the fringes at first, chatting with coworkers and meeting Dominic's family. Eventually, I spotted Randall and Haley across the room. They were at a table with friends, laughing at something. Haley's engagement ring caught the light when she gestured. During a quiet moment, I approached their table. "Hi," I said quietly. "I won't stay long. I just wanted to say congratulations on your engagement and that I'm truly sorry for how I behaved. What I did was horrible, and neither of you deserved it." "Thank you," Haley said after a moment, her voice cool but not unkind. Randall nodded but said nothing. "That's all. Enjoy the rest of your evening." I turned to go, not expecting forgiveness or friendship. "Brittany," Randall called as I walked away. I turned back. "I hope you're doing well," he said simply. "I'm getting there," I replied with a small smile.
Tell me if you're feeling this way. The internet, that we've all so come to depend on, has become one of the most dangerous.
"I really am happy for you both." Later that night, as I watched couples slow dancing, Paige slid into the chair beside me. "Proud of you," she said, bumping my shoulder gently. "For what?" "I saw you talking to Randall and Haley. That couldn't have been easy." "It wasn't," I admitted, "but it was necessary." As I drove home that night, I thought about that conversation with Randall back in May, nearly a year ago now. "I'm not ready to date until after my hoe phase." Such simple words that had set off such a complex chain of events. I'd been so certain I knew what I wanted, so convinced I could control when and how things would unfold. I'd wanted freedom without consequences.
But the problem is, for every time I make a choice, there's going to be a consequence. Questions are going to be good or bad. She chose to go through a whole phase than to deal with men who do have feelings for her, who do want to be there for her exclusively. But the moment she chose the whole phase, she pretty much say like, okay, you're not that important. You're more like a consolation prize instead of the prize. But Haley apparently sees him as a prize, and that's why he wound up with her. Haley takes a way, basically, if I'm correct, Haley is has more regard to him than Paige does. Haley wanted him from day one, unlike Paige, who won him like after the end of summer, if that makes any sense.
Options without commitment. Randall without respecting his choices. The truth was, he'd been right to move on. Not because I wasn't worth waiting for, but because my attitude had revealed something fundamental about how I viewed relationships, as things that existed to serve my needs on my timeline. I'd never considered that by asserting my right to explore. I was telling him he wasn't enough for me right then.
Facts. Facts. That's why his face fell. That's why he moved on.
I'd expected him to simply accept being my backup plan.
Which he has the right to say no to. Not just him, anybody, man or woman.
And I'd been genuinely shocked when he refused. I pulled into my apartment complex and sat in the car for a moment, watching the moon through my windshield. My mom's words came back to me. Sometimes we have to lose everything to see ourselves clearly. I had lost everything. Randall, my friends, my self-respect. But in that loss, I'd found something unexpected. The beginning of wisdom. The understanding that other people's feelings matter as much as my own. That timing is everything in relationships. That actions have consequences that can't always be undone with apologies. Most importantly, I'd learned that while I couldn't change the past, I could choose what kind of person I wanted to be going forward. Not the entitled, self-absorbed girl who expected the world to wait for her, but someone who recognized her mistakes and was determined not to repeat them.
Facts. Facts. So if you know such a person, man and woman, let me know if they had a story. I want to hear about it. I know everybody's want to hear about it as well. Now I'm going to be talking briefly about Diddy, and in my opinion, though, like, it's not looking good. People say, like, well, there might be a mistrial. No, it's not. I'm sorry. And the funny thing is, you got more people ready to come and testify against him. You think that'd be the end? Nope. Like I said before, he would think that Trump's going to pardon Diddy, but 50 Cent already, got receipts like, no, Diddy says a very uncool things about you. So the chances are it's like not looking good. I'll be sure to get to testify. There's a lot of other people going to testify against Diddy. His lawyer's trying very, 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 very hard to shut these accusations and allegations down, but it's not looking good. It's going to take some key witnesses and key testimonies to put down Diddy once and for all. So far, it's a matter of time. So far, it's going like month one, and what a crazy month. You got Cassie Ventura, former assistants, Kid Cudi. Oh, it's not done. It got so bad, even like Kevin Hart was making jokes about Diddy. But wait a minute, did Kevin Hart have to be one of those parties with Diddy? Other than that, folks, I'm gonna call it a night, because guess what? It's going like more than an hour. But what's your thoughts, folks? And before I say good night or good morning, I say share, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out. In 3, 2,